We traveled to the edge of the universe and brought something back. The ship's name was Etherin, and it was supposed to be our greatest achievement. My crew and I were tasked with something unthinkable, traveling to a point in the universe no one had dared approach before. The anomaly had been recorded years ago, a strange, uncharted signal radiating from a dark void where no light had ever existed, where time itself seemed to unravel. It shouldn't have been there, but it was, a silent warning waiting to be ignored. I should have listened. There were 6 of us aboard the Etherin. Reynolds, the navigator with an uncanny ability to read the stars. Kira, the sharp-tongued engineer. Dr. Voss, a scientist whose curiosity was often too dangerous. Marcus, our quiet communications officer. And me, the pilot, the one who pressed the button to take us where no human had ever gone. At first, the jump went smoothly. The engines hummed as we punched through the fabric of space, the stars stretching into thin white lines across the viewports. But as we reached the coordinates, everything changed. The hum cut out, snuffed like a candle. The stars disappeared. The radar went blank. We were surrounded by nothing. Not empty space, not darkness, nothing. It was as though we had left the universe entirely. Reynolds murmured something about the readings. The numbers didn't make sense. We shouldn't have been there. Where the hell are we? Hayes' voice broke the silence, sharp and strained. No one answered. Kira checked the engines. All systems were perfectly fine. Too fine. It was as if the ship itself didn't know it was lost. Then Marcus said something that made my skin crawl. The signal stopped. "It's gone," Marcus said, staring at his console. "There's nothing out there anymore." And then the knocking started. It was soft at first, tap, tap, tap against the hull. My blood ran cold. It wasn't the creaking of the ship or some malfunction. It was deliberate. It grew louder, stronger, until it sounded like fists pounding on the metal. Boom, boom, boom. We pulled up the external cameras. The monitor flickered with static before stabilizing. Outside the airlock, something was there. It wasn't human. It wasn't even alive in the way we understood. A shape, tall and distorted, loomed just beyond the hull. It didn't move in any way we could comprehend, yet it felt like it was looking at us. The knocking stopped. The airlock light turned green. "Someone opened the door," Marcus said, his voice cracking. "No one move," Hayes whispered. But we heard it. Footsteps, wet and deliberate, echoing down the corridors. The next moments were chaos. The lights flickered, and I swear I saw it standing in the doorway. Its limbs bent at angles that shouldn't exist, its shadow stretching unnaturally across the floor. The air turned cold, and the lights went out completely. I heard screams, Kira, Marcus, Voss, and then silence. When the lights returned, I was alone. Their seats were empty as though they had never been there. I stumbled to the monitors, desperate for any sign of them. The cameras showed only static, except one feed. Outside the ship, floating in the void, were my crew. Their faces were turned toward the camera, mouths open in silent screams, their eyes empty. And then they were gone. I hit the jump button. I didn't care if it tore the ship apart. The engines roared to life, and the Etherin ripped itself free of the void. The stars reappeared. The radar blinked back to life. I made it back to Earth, but no one believed my story. The logs were corrupted. The cameras recorded nothing. Officially, the Etherin failed its mission due to engine failure. Hayes, Reynolds, Kira, Marcus, and Voss were declared lost in space. Their names etched on a memorial plaque that means nothing to the thing that took them. But I know the truth. I tried to start over. I moved far away from the launch site. I told myself it was over, but it wasn't. The knocking followed me. It started softly, taps at my bedroom window, on the walls of my empty apartment. I told myself it was the wind, my imagination, stress, but then it got louder. Boom, 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 the same rhythm, the same weight as before. One night, I woke up to the sound of the airlock alarm, though I was nowhere near the ship. I sat up in bed, heart pounding, and saw it, the shadow, standing at the foot of my bed. It was tall and twisted, its faceless head tilted, studying me like I was the anomaly now. It knocked 3 times. Boom. And then it vanished, leaving the door to my apartment ajar. I don't sleep anymore. I can't. The knocking never stops. I hear it in empty hallways, in my dreams, in my mind. Sometimes I see the others. Hayes, Reynolds, the rest, standing at the edge of my vision. Their eyes are hollow, their mouths frozen in the same silent screams I saw that day. I know it's getting closer. It followed me back from the void, and it's only a matter of time before it takes me to We went to the edge of the universe, and we brought something back. Now, it wants in.